Hey guys, been over here bringing you a narrated Wi-Fi battle. This one's with LarryTurtle from Pokecommunity Forums. Pretty cool guy. This is a UU battle. He's going to lead off with an Uxie. I'm going to lead off with my Arcanine. Get the Intimidate. I'm going to go ahead and go for the Will-O-Wisp in case he switches, and plus a lot of these Uxies have U-turn, make it do less damage. Get some continuous damage on it since it's pretty bulky. I'm going to go ahead and switch out here into my Altaria Roundabout, predicting the Stealth Rocks, so that I want to take the Stealth Rock damage with it later. Plus I know it can't really do anything to me. I know it's not really good to set up early, but I'm going to go for the Dragon Dance on the switch, thinking he'll go for another setup, like a screen, giving me a second Dragon Dance, which would let me hopefully do some good damage to his team. But he goes to the Feraligatr and scares me off, because I'm predicting an Ice Punch, so I go to my Azumarill. He's just going to go for a Sword Dance and a Crunch, so this is not looking good for me whatsoever. I probably should have just stayed in and gone for the Dragon Claw with Altaria. But I'm just going to go for the Superpower here with Azumarill, and it's not really going to do as much as I was hoping. So I'm just going to go ahead and go for the Aqua Jet, hoping he'll finish me off here, but he makes a good play and goes for a second Sword Dance. And I go for... I try to go for a Superpower there, thinking he'll go for another Sword Dance. And to be honest, another Sword Dance really would have been a better play probably on his part. And luckily for me, this Feraligatr doesn't have sub, or at least he didn't use it. So I am able to revenge kill it off with Sceptile before it can do any huge damage to my team. Because that really could have been a big problem. Ah yeah, the Reflect is why the Superpower didn't do as much as I originally thought. But I'm just going to go ahead and set up a sub when he brings in his Mesprit, predicting the status move. So that was a good play on my part. And then I'm going to Leech Seed on the switch, or if he tried to stay in and break my sub. He goes to an Arcanine, which is a great counter to Sceptiles, or at least this one. So I'm just going to go for the Energy Ball, because there's no sense in wasting a good sub while he finishes my sub with a Fire Fang, which I don't really see too often on Arcanines anymore. It's usually just Flare Blitz. But I'm going to switch out here into my own Arcanine to get the Intimidate, and since mine will have more health, it would make... Oh no, I'm sorry, I go into my physical wall. This is the second time I narrated this battle because my audio got messed up, and I messed that up then too. But yeah, this battle is about a week and a half old, so sorry for the poor narration. But he's just going to go for the Hidden Power. I set up Stealth Rocks. Yeah. And I'm going to go ahead and go for a Stone Edge here, if I remember correctly, while he just goes for a Psychic to see if it'll do more damage. And it did do a good amount more damage. I guess that's just because Hidden Power is poor base power, and plus Psychic is stab. And I do get that Stone Edge in there instead of going for the rest, just because I want to be able to try to finish this thing off with my Sceptile, because I really don't like dealing with Mesprits too much. So I'm going to go for the Energy Ball, thinking I can probably KO it, and it survives with, who knows, a very small amount of HP, and does get off an Ice Beam. But luckily for me, I survived that, but he gets the Freeze Hacks. So that was a pretty unpredictable little exchange there. Luckily I do have a Heal Beller on this team, so I am going to switch out my Sceptile to preserve for later, plus I don't want to give him a free setup with his Uxie. And I am going to predict a screen, so I'm going to go into Mismagius. Luckily he goes for the Reflect first, although he's going to go for the Light Screen here while I set up a sub. And since usually Uxie's only attacking move is U-turn, which is ineffective, that's a great chance for me to get a setup with Mismagius. I'm going to go for the Calm Mind on the switch, or if he U-turned out, either way. And even with the Light Screen up, a +1 Calm Mind Mismagius will be able to KO this Arcanine with a Shadow Ball. So that's pretty good for me. And he's going to send in Hitmontop, which is a good switch in because Hitmontop has above average special defense. He probably should have went to Hitmontop before Arcanine actually. But I'm just going to go for a Shadow Ball so I don't waste my sub while he Bullet Punches. And I'm going to predict the second Bullet Punch because it's a pretty obvious move. And I'm going to go into my Arcanine to get the Intimidate and resistance to Bullet Punch. Stealth Rocks is going to do a hefty chunk, but luckily Bullet Punch does not, and I can just leftovers off most of that damage. So I'm just going to go for the Flare Blitz here because it's the best move I have, and an Extreme Speed definitely would not come close to killing, especially with the Reflect Up. He's going to misclick and go for Fake Out, so I assume that was a misclick, so sorry about that. He's just going to go for the Mach Punch here. It's not going to do that much. A second Mach Punch definitely would not have killed even with the recoil. So it didn't really affect the game too much. I'm just going to go for an Extreme Speed here, knowing Arcanine has a much higher base speed than Hitmontop, so I can beat his priority moves and get the kill. Leftovers off, a little bit of damage there, and the light screen just wore off. So that's good for me now that the screens are out. He's going to go into his Uxie, probably trying to set up one last screen, but a Flare Blitz is going to be able to kill, so that's good for me. Leftovers a little more there, and now he's down to his last Pokemon, Leafeon, who is just going to go for a return. And he said that he thought that was max happiness, and apparently it wasn't, so I'm sorry for that as well, because I've done that exact same thing before. No one can blame me for that. Overall, really good game, Larry. You're a fun battler, good battler, so I'll catch you guys later with my next video, and peace.